Let's run through the instructions for Lab 6. With this lab, we are going to combine decision-making if statements with the buttons and interactivity that we've been looking at. And so the idea here is going to be we're going to have an application that displays several visual objects on the screen, and the user, when clicking buttons, can cause those objects to change, either move around on the screen or change their appearance. Okay, so you want to follow the instructions closely so that you are able to work this out. All right, but we're going to give you a starter program which has several classes that are sort of get you a head start, and then you're going to be modifying those classes. So if you right click on this link to the zip file and unzip everything and put it in a NetBeans project, okay, the starter program has 3 Java files. MUFrame and MUPanel, that sort of gives you the ability to run the program. And then the visual objects are called roundheads. So you'll see why in a minute here. So if I run the starter program, you'll see that. Excuse me. So a round head looks like this, a little round head with a hat on it. And there's a button that is given in the interface. Now, clicking the button at the start doesn't do anything. Okay, you are going to be attaching an action to that, and so you'll see how that will work in the lab directions. So the round heads have 2 moods. They're either happy or sad, and they have a hat color property, so each round head can have a different hat color. And there's properties for where they are positioned on the screen, how far over and how far down they are from the upper left corner of the display window in the MUPanel, and also how far they can move vertically, because when we click the button, they are going to be moving around. Okay, so that's the given code, and so you run the program, and you should see that there's 1 round head and 1 button, but at this time, clicking the button doesn't do anything. Okay, now. You're supposed to look over the roundhead class definition to sort of see what the methods are and the purposes of the methods. The constructor method is going to receive parameters to initialize some data members. Okay, there's one data member, the size, which is set to 30 for every roundhead. We're going to change that later. Okay, the draw method is a little bit complicated, but it's there. And then there's a move vertically method. Okay, which will allow the object to move. And you'll see how that will work. Okay, so your task is to get the move roundhead buttons to work, or button to work. So you will follow these instructions. Then we're going to add another button which will change the object's mood from happy to sad, sad to happy. Okay, so if just follow these instructions, you should be okay with that. Then we're going to make a change to the existing roundhead and add another roundhead. Okay, and we're going to change the draw method. So you can just follow these, adding 3 more roundheads. Okay, then we're also going to add the ability to move the roundheads horizontally. Originally, they're only going to be moving vertically. You're going to also add the ability for them to move horizontally. And so if a roundhead moves horizontally and vertically in one step, that means that it's going to be moving diagonally. So you'll see how that will work as you follow the instructions. Okay, and then we're going to change the size and also add a nickname to the roundhead class. So everyone should finish to this point, and I'll show you a completed version, what you should have at the end of this. So if we come to this, and you'll see that. Okay, so here is a completed version. Notice that the roundheads, there are 6 roundhead objects now displayed. Some are happy and some are sad, and they have different hat colors and, as I said, different sizes and a nickname for each one. Okay, And if we click the move round head buttons, some of the round heads only move, well, I think one of these only moves vertically, one of them only moves horizontally, but the others, if they move horizontally and vertically every time the button is clicked, then they move diagonally. So you'll see, like watch Sam here. Sam will move up and to the left, then he's going to bounce off and come back down. So, but Maggie only moves horizontally because her vertical movement factor is 0, and Hattie only moves vertically because her horizontal movement factor is 0. Okay. Then the change mood button, everyone who was sad becomes happy, and everyone that was happy becomes sad. Okay, so that's what your result should look like for Lab 6. Okay. A couple things to point out about the lab directions. Okay, let's see here. All right, when you are changing the draw method of the roundhead class so that happy roundheads have yellow faces and sad ones have pink faces, you'll need to use an if-else statement. But here's a hint as to how to do that. If I go into the MU panel, no, excuse me, if I go into the roundhead class, it's in the roundhead class. Okay, let's scroll down here to the draw method. Okay, here is a statement in the initial code. We're always setting the color to yellow before we fill the oval for the face. So what you will want to do here is to put in an if statement with an else. Okay, so sometimes you will set the color to yellow, other times you will set the color to pink, and then whatever color was selected, you will fill the oval. So that's how you can get some of the round heads to have yellow faces and some to have pink faces. Now, when should the face be yellow? If the round head is happy. So notice that the round head has a property called isHappy, which is Boolean. So Boolean values are either true or false. So what you would want to do inside the if statement here would be to say if the isHappy property is true. Now you can't do this, I'm just typing that in English, but you have to do that in actual Java. Okay, so if the isHappy property is true, we want to set the color to yellow, otherwise we want to set the color to pink. Okay, and I think that is the big hint that I wanted to give. I think everything else you should be able to follow through. Now, here's the grading rubric for Lab 6. Then after that, there are some optional things. If you want to try some more practice, you could add 2 other buttons. You could have the round heads grow, and you could have them, can you add a button to shrink them? Okay, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that optional part. Okay, for the Lab 6, for what's being graded, you should go through step K. You can and have work the way I showed you. Okay? Okay, so good luck. Have fun with roundheads.